Hey, what's up, boys? Callsign Grimey here with a Broken Arrow video. We're still playing the demo that's currently available. We don't know when it will last to, but while I have it available, we're going to break down and share with you some important tips that I've found to make this a much better experience in terms of you fighting through the barrage of enemies that you're going to be fighting through. It's not easy. It is a grind. It's tough. It's challenging. I really enjoy it, but there are some ways that you can kind of be more efficient and optimize your attack, your movements, and how you're operating with your units. So let's dive into it, and we're going to start it all by talking about how to move your units in the most efficient way possible, especially important while you're in combat. So for the most part, when you want to move one of your units, you're going to go ahead and click on it. You'll see that your unit is now kind of highlighted, and then you'll right click to move it to wherever it is you want it to go. So in this case, we'll just move it over there. Okay, that's fine. Now let's say you want to move a couple of units right here. What do? Well, if you don't know, you're going to go ahead and hold down Shift. Then you'll click on all of the units that you want to select to move, and then you will now right click, and they'll all move at the same time together to that location that you want them to be at. And that's pretty self-explanatory, and that works. Now let's say we're in a situation where all of my units right here, this entire area that you see, I need to move them and move them fast. There's something going on. I need to relocate everyone. Well, this is what you do, because you don't want to waste time holding Shift and clicking around and doing all this and trying to get everyone. If you misclick, you miss one of the units, right? That just took up valuable time. Instead, what you're going to do is hold down the left click, and you're going to draw over all of the units on the map that you want to move at once. Now they are all highlighted, and I can, with one click of a button, move them all to one location, just like that. And I'm telling you, this might not seem like a big deal, but in the middle of a battle, if you're getting hit on the flank or something pops up, you need to move and move fast. This is invaluable. Don't waste your time single clicking or shift clicking. Just left, drag, release, and move them where you need them to go. Next, let's talk about how to best utilize the weapon systems on your units. Now, in this example here, we have the LAV mortar. This is a great unit to have on the field because it does a variety of things, all with this just one vehicle, right? Now, if you see here, once you click on the unit itself, it's going to display what that unit is. It's also going to display here the weapon systems on board. You can see here we have the mortar, tells you how many rounds we have, and we have the M240 machine gun on here. Also, when you hit the T button, and remember, you're going to want to know these keybinds. It operates much faster than clicking around. You're going to hit T. Once you hit T, it opens up a new window, and for the mortar LAV, you have a variety of ways you can employ weapon systems here. So you'll see here that the default setting is for the explosive ammunition, short duration, and it is in point mode. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that the weapon systems here, you can pick and choose which of the weapon systems they will fire at any given time. When you see both of them are kind of filled in and highlighted, that means they are both active. If I wanted to turn off the 240 and only launch the mortar, I'm going to simply click on the 240, and now that is turned off. That means that when I go ahead and give them the command to fire, they're not going to shoot the 240. They should be firing the mortar round. And so we'll just pick a spot right here. We'll click and hold. We'll let it go, and you'll see them loading up the mortar. That's that little bar going up. Once it hits the top, we've got launch. And we'll see here, impact. Now, the mortar is not precision guided. It's gonna just hit in the area of the circle, so keep that in mind. It's a good suppression system. Now, the other cool thing about the mortar is, say for instance, we need to get across this street right here and we need some cover, so we're gonna move over here. We're gonna open up our attack window again. We're gonna select smoke so we have a better field of view. We're gonna select the area, and we're going to blow some smoke. There they are, loading it up. There's the smoke. Now we can take a unit, for example, this LAV, and move it through the smoke for some concealment. It's going to prevent them from getting shot from the tank that's right over that way. Super invaluable, the flexibility that the LAV mortar vehicle gives you, all right? Some other things you could do with it, once you're highlighted, when you're in attack menu, you can up the duration to medium, in full. You also have a guided munitions round. You also have the point mode. You have a line mode, and then you can actually creep, which is walking in your rounds into a target. So you have different options. I find that the point mode and your short duration, and then between the explosion or the smoke does very well in most cases, and I don't really use the other stuff much. Now, hitting T on other vehicles doesn't give you the same kind of contextual menu as the LAV mortar round. So if I hit it on the LAV right here, we get the attack, and now we have a kind of a range. So I can point and click and say, hey, you know what, attack this tree. I'll left click, and they're just gonna go ahead and fire on that location. The next thing you need to know is understanding the range at which your units can fire effectively and hit enemy targets. So I've clicked on the LAV in this instance. Obviously we're behind the building, but the point is still the same. I'm gonna go ahead and hover over the enemy vehicle over here, and you're gonna see that essentially I could hit him with one of my weapon systems, the M242. However, the M240 is out of range, and it's clearly designated by the white line, means it's good. It's within range. The red dotted line means it's no good, it's out of range. And you'll see here as we hover over the tank, we do have a shot on it, or at least our weapon systems will reach it from this range. There's gonna be a certain point where the white stops, and there it is right there. That was our maximum effective range that we can hit a target where that's white meets the red. So get to understand the range for your vehicles and what they can do, so that you don't get caught off in the situation where you are set up somewhere and you're just out of range, yet the enemy is just bombing on you. Now, this next tip that I'm going to share with you might be like the godsend tip. And why do I say that? Because if you've played this game already, then you know that it is very punishing. The enemies are relentless, they come at you fast and hard, and it puts you in a situation where you have to think really quickly on your feet how you're going to defend or advance, and what you're going to do, what units to move in, what reinforcements to call in. And in the split of a moment, you can be completely wiped out. But here's the thing, it doesn't need to go that way. All you have to do is go to the top right corner and hit the pause button. There's no penalty for doing this. It gives you time to freeze what's going on, assess the situation, go ahead and make a plan in your mind, and then unpause to execute that plan. So if you find yourself getting overwhelmed, overran, do not hesitate to hit that pause button. Give yourself a chance to regroup, plan everything out, and then continue on with the mission. And this final tip I have for you here is how to move your troops in and out of the vehicles as fast as possible, because time is everything when you're in the heat of battle. So if you click on a vehicle right now, you highlight it, you go down with your cursor down to the unload, you click that, and then you'll see on the cursor itself on the screen here, hopefully, that next to the arrow is the little same door icon, which means that you are in unload mode. Once I'm in unload mode, I can click anywhere I want to dump my troops at. I'm just going to click right next to them, left click, and now they are offloaded onto the ground. Now, sure, this works, but there is a faster way to go about doing this, and that is by utilizing the hotkey U. So if I click on this vehicle, I hit U, you'll see I get the same icon. I click, they're out. Much faster than having to click on the vehicle, move my mouse all the way to the bottom right of the screen, come all the way back to then click at a point around the vehicle or wherever it may be on the map. I'm telling you, this all adds up. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, does this actually work for multiple vehicles if I want to offload all those troops? Yes, it does. All you're going to do is remember, left click, hold, and drag over the units that you want to highlight. Now that we have them all selected, we're going to hit U, and then we'll just left click right in the middle right here. The vehicles are going to move close to that point, and then the troops are going to pop out. And that's how you're going to offload troops in multiple vehicles all at once, very fast. And then once you have your troops out, you can move them all together at once if you want, or you can move them in sections or individually. However you want to do it, the click, drag, and drop, and then move command will have them all moving simultaneously as one entire unit, which is really, really cool when you're on the battlefield. All right, boys, that's it for me. Hopefully these tips are going to help you out in your playthroughs on Broken Arrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Callsign Grimey out.